Greetings to everybody. How are you? Can you hear me all right? Please let me know if the visual and the audio is working okay. If you have any question today, please send them in now and I'll try to answer them. We'll have about 1 hour. Please let me know where you come from if this is your first time. From Sammy Riachi, good morning Ajahn, good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you for saying hello. Pannaporn, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. James Ong, Sadhu. Jesada, Sadhu. Sammy Riachi, yes, it's very clear. Thank you. Holly Jan, Sadhu. Geg Yen So, good afternoon, Ajahn. Greetings from Penang. The audio is great. Thank you. Ho Kieng Teo, Sadhu, Sadhu. Ong Apprentice, yes, can hear well. Thank you very much. Dirukshi, Oluni, Sadhu, Sadhu, Pante. Meal on meditation, clear audio and video from Chonburi, Thailand. From Alfred Ko, Sadhu, Sadhu. Okay, we have first question today from Paul Westbury, Virginia, USA. My father is in the dying process at this time. I am wondering what I can do to help him. He's not Buddhist, so I cannot suggest Buddha. Also, his pain is probably too much, so the breath may be difficult. Can I suggest to watch the pain? He also likes to listen to soft rock music. Should I play that for him? It depends on what he wants, because to give him something that he doesn't want will be counterproductive. If he likes to listen to rock music and he wants you to turn it on for him, then just turn it on for him. Do anything for him, as long as it's not breaking the precepts, like euthanasia or something like that, because that's not the way to go and not the way to solve the problem. The problem here is acceptance and knowledge that the body is not you. If you can suggest to him that the body is like an automobile and he is the driver of the automobile, which is the spirit of the mind that doesn't die with the body. So when the body dies, the spirit will continue on to the next world. And if he doesn't cling to his body, then he will be peaceful and calm. If he clings to his body and wants his body to last longer, then he will suffer. From Ama Yugui. Hello Ajahn, thanks for your time. You're welcome. Question from Chong Yeo, Singapore. Question number 1, is it enough to have just 5 precepts to be enlightened? Not just the 5 precepts. Besides the precepts, you have to have samadhi, concentration of mind, stability of mind, ubeka of mind. Then you have to have the wisdom to see the Four Noble Truths. and the three characteristics of existence. You need all these to become enlightened, not just any one of them alone. From Lee Min Satu, from Yeo SC, Namo Buddhaya Thanajan, Namo to you too. From Corinne Kaur, Satu Satu. Hai Eng Yui, Ajahn, why is it so difficult to let go of our attachment to sensual pleasures and our craving to earn more wealth and our attachment to our loved ones? Because this is the way you find happiness, see. But this kind of happiness is only temporary and they can end any time. And when they end, they can cause you a lot of suffering. They are like drugs, addiction that you are addicted to. So it's difficult to get rid of them if you don't have something to take their place. And the thing that you will take their place to make you happy is meditation. So you first need to develop mindfulness to be able to succeed in your meditation, to have peace of mind and contentment and happiness of mind. Then it will be easy for you to let go of your attachment. When you see that they are impermanent, that they can cause you a lot of suffering when they change or when they disappear. And they are something that you cannot keep or control. Question number 2 from Chong Yi O, Singapore. Are six consciousness sense-based, including the mind, still working normally when one is sleeping? Yes. Usually the six base, the physical ones stop working temporarily because when you go to sleep. You don't see, you don't hear anything. So it's only the mental consciousness that's still working when you go to sleep. When a person dies, the five consciousness stop functioning, and only the mind that move on to a new body. Yes, because there are no sensual organs to function properly. When there are no function organs, then the five consciousness, the five sensual consciousness will stop functioning temporarily until it gets a new body. Then it will restart functioning again. But the mental consciousness will continue on to function when there is no body. Like when you go to sleep in the dream, the working of the mind still works using the mental consciousness plus the memory and volition to produce these dreams for you to enjoy, to experience. Kenneth Hunt, good morning, Thanajan from Switzerland. Good morning to you, Professor. How are you? From Aranut Nui, Namaskaran Ajahn. Thank you. Question number 3 from Chong Yu. How does the five consciousness affect the mind consciousness or affect us to have greed, hatred, and delusion, since the body and mind can be and are separated? It is the great hatred and delusion that's driving the mind to use the five consciousness to acquire happiness for the mind. So it is hate, a delusion, which is avijja, which will then drive sankhara and vijnana consciousness to go toward the five sensual organs and consequently to the five sensual objects to get feeling, good feeling or bad feeling. From Suman Barua Nosto, Satu. From Sarasi question, from Switzerland. How long does it take for a person to be reborn after he dies? Nobody knows because it depends on the amount of good and bad karma that he has done in his lifetime, plus the old good and bad karma that hasn't yet bore fruit. They will be the one to take the mind to go and receive the consequence of the good or bad karma. Then when the bad or the good karma become neutral, becomes equal, that's when the mind will be ready to take a human birth. But then it depends on the amount of human that is producing birth at that time. So there might be many mind waiting to be born as human, but cannot yet because there is no birth, no human to produce the new body. Question number 2: Can the departed mind Chitta recall his life or last moment of his life? Some do, some don't. This is a special ability of each individual. Some can recollect past lives and some cannot. From Suman Barua Nosto, Namaste. From Nattapa, Satu, Satu. From Christine Kutkowski. Dear Tanajan, would you be able to give me a name of a family with children that I could help? I will let you know. I'll let my assistant Kunjup contact you, okay? She's the one who helped me with the charity work. Right now I'm helping the school, the school that founded by the Supreme Patriarch called the Puru School. And it takes boys to come and study, live and study in the school for 3 years. It's a junior high school from grade 7 to grade 9. You can go to this web page, to this Facebook page called Friends of Puru, YSS 80. Puru spelled PHURHU. Friends of Puru, YSS 80. And you can find out about this school. I do help children with tuition, but I don't have the data right now to give you. But if you want to, you can send your help to me and I'll pass it on to them. Last year I gave about 50 or so scholarship to students, to poor students. And I have people coming asking for help as the pandemic is getting worse here. Thank you for your offer. From Ama Ayugwe, great if Ajahn can distinguish Sotapanna level. Any practitioner, when they have attained to that level, they will know for themselves. The Dhamma is sanditiko. It can be proven by the practitioner himself. He doesn't need to have the Buddha to confirm it, or any other enlightened beings to confirm his enlightenment. From Ananda T, Satu, Satu. From Anna Goldman, good afternoon, Ajahn. How are you? I hope you are well. I am from California. Thank you. I'm okay. Glad to hear from you from California. Which part of California? I used to live in Fresno and went to Fresno State College there for 5 years. Actually, 2.5 years at Fresno State and 2.5 years at Fresno City College. Hi Eng Iwi. Extreme faith in one's Dhamma teachers is dangerous without wisdom, as we tend to blindly follow his teachings without understanding whether his teachings are good for us. Does Ajahn agree? Yes, that's why you need to have reference point, which is the teaching of the Buddha. Because the teaching of the Buddha had been proven to be truth, to be useful for us. So before you go to study with other teachers, living teachers, you should study the teaching of the Buddha from the Tripitaka first. Just the basic, the important suttas, like the first discourse, the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, the Four Foundation of Mindfulness Sutta, for instance. This will give you the standard to measure other people's teaching, whether they are teaching correctly or not. Question from Fabrizio Pichi, Brazil. I had an opportunity to live as an anakalika at Wat Yannasangwararam and met with many Kuba Ajahn like Luang Po Niam, but I wasn't able to let go. Sometimes I feel that I am wasting my time as a human being, living as a lay person. But at the same time, I know from experience that it's not easy to live the life of a bhikkhu. Can Ajahn please give me some words on this subject? You can live as a temporary bhikkhu first, and anakalika is a temporary bhikkhu. And you can still experience some other layman's experience. So you don't have to be a full bhikkhu yet when you're not ready. Just practice as an anakalika, stay in the temples for as long as possible. And when you feel that you cannot, then you leave it temporarily. And after a while, you can return and continue on with your practice first. So long as you keep training yourself in mindfulness, you will eventually be strong. Your mind will be strong to take any harsh conditions put upon you, and you will be able to overcome them and move forward in your path toward enlightenment. So just keep training yourself in mindfulness regardless of whether you are a bhikkhu or not a bhikkhu. It doesn't matter. This is the secret to success, is training yourself in mindfulness all the time. From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, you should not let the mind be without control. You should control the mind with a mantra such as Bhutto, or you control it by forcing it to keep watching the body movement, the body action all the time. Then you will not be able to go think about any other things. Then your mind will become calm, peaceful, and happy. Even when you're not yet in samadhi or jhana, you will feel peaceful and content to a certain degree. From Anna Goldman, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Chayanan, Moon Rabbit, Sadhu, Sadhu. Question from Chua, Malaysia. When a person meditates for an hour every day, but he masturbates a lot, can he attain psychic power? That depends on his successful in meditation or not. If he can enter the level of Upajjhara Samadhi, then he will be able to have psychic power. But not every meditator who is successful in meditation will have psychic power. Only very few, about 5 out of 100 meditators will have psychic power. Does masturbation hinder one's ability to attain psychic power? Yes, because instead of meditating, you will be masturbating instead. So you have to stop masturbating and then you will have the time to fully meditate. You need to meditate all the time in order to be able to enter into samadhi, upajjara samadhi, and, and have psychic power. From Anuma Gelbua, Satu, Satu. From Ajahn, from Nielsen Saul, Brazil. Is there a mystical message in dreams, or are they just products of the subconscious? They are the products of your good and bad karma. But sometimes they can also be something telling you something. But this is something you have to observe to find out whether they are always telling you the correct information or not. From Lee Yong Chu, Satu. Ong Eng Eng, Satu. Siripriya, Sang Sai, Satu, Satu. Sammy Riachi, Tanajan. After I do yoga, I feel so good and can sit longer in meditation. Is a yoga practice conducive to our path, or could it create more attachment to the body? If you use it to maintain a healthy body, then it's okay. But if you use it and to make you to become more attached to your body, then it's not okay. So you have to tell yourself that you do it just to maintain a healthy body, so it doesn't create problem for you. So it doesn't create hindrance to your meditation. So a healthy body will not hinder your meditation practice. An unhealthy or sick body can hinder your meditation practice. So if you do yoga, you do it to maintain a healthy body, to enable you to meditate, then this is okay. But not to cling or attach to your body, wishing your body to live longer than it can normally be. From Krishna Dalami, Vandana Bante, from London, I'm watching. Thank you. From Sally Chi, Satu, Satu, Satu. From Michael, Miko Saw, Satu, Satu. Here's a link to Friend of Puru School from Meal on Meditation. This is for Kutkuski, for Christine Kutkuski. Here's the reply to Christine from Checkling 10. Greetings, Christine. I would be able to help you with more information about the Puru School if you would like. I can send you a message through Facebook. Thank you. Lin Lim, Satu, Satu. From Sapi Chai, Namaskaran to Ajahn from Indonesia. From Lo Elsa, Satu, Satu. From Tony Romero, from Las Vegas, USA. Good afternoon, Ajahn. I am glad you are doing well. I have a question, if you don't mind. No, not at all. I find myself absorbing other people's pain as if it was mine. How can I get rid of a very strong emotion in that moment when the emotion seems to blind me from logical thinking? Well, you can use the mantra. As soon as you feel that you are emotionally involved with people or things, you can stop this by reciting the mantra, Bhutto, 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 or you can do some chanting. So this is why you want to learn to recite the mantra or learn to chant, because when you realize that your mind is becoming emotionally involved, you can stop it by reciting the mantra or do some chanting. After 5 minutes, your mind will come back to normal. Then you can stop chanting or stop reciting the mantra. But you have to do it persistently. Don't stop until the emotion is being stopped. Don't expect it to stop right after you start reciting, because it can take some time before you can stop your emotional involvement with people or things. I hope this will help you in dealing with your emotions toward other people or things. Just keep reciting the mantra. Don't think about the people that you are emotionally involved with. Recite Bhutto, 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 Bhutto. Or chant Itipiso Bhagava Araham Samma Sambuddho. Just keep repeating this chant until your mind becomes calm and peaceful and not emotionally involved. From Megawati Lao, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Shirley Ko, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. From Thiem Hoa Tan, greetings from Malaysia Ajahn. May Ajahn live long and healthy always. Thank you very much. From Take Wat Sutama, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Guot Main Lo, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. From somebody in Chinese, Sadhu Bante, good afternoon. Recently, I don't know either that is work or life pressure. I have dreams at night, sometimes nightmares, dirty dreams, but sometimes I remember about Buddha in my dream. It's better sometimes follow the dreams. Your dreams are the products of your good or bad karma. Good dreams are the products of your good karma. Bad dreams are the product of your bad karma. It's something you cannot avoid. You or stop them, but you don't have to follow them. Do what they tell you to do. You just have to use rationality to figure out whether you should follow your dreams or not. If it's good for you, then yes. If it's bad for you, then you shouldn't. From Panapon Sitirasa. I offer food to Ajahn every morning from Yom Pipon Ka. Sadhu, Sadhu. From Arch Yi. Namaskaran Tan Ajahn. From Madeline Chin. Good afternoon, Tan Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Tan Kok Land, Sadhu, Sadhu. Son Sin KH. May I respect most vulnerable. I am listening to you from Cambodia. Thank you for joining our conversation. From Phoebe Sang. Good morning, dear Venerable Ajahn. Thank you for coming online to teach us. You're welcome. I hope I can act as a reminder for you to keep on practicing the Dhamma, because you have to practice in order to get the result. By studying or listening to Dhamma talks alone will not produce any tangible result. So you need to practice to get to the results that will make you happy and free from suffering. From Chayam Lama Gurum, Namaste. From Loya Ying, Sadhu, Sadhu. Vam Shayam Lama Gurung Sadhu Sadhu. Vam Jesada Boban Namasagan Pante. Are the LGBT person difficult to practice and gain the fruits of meditation? Not the sexual preference doesn't decide whether you can practice or not. It is your determination. Do you have the determination to practice, especially to train yourself in mindfulness? If you have this determination to train yourself in mindfulness all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, your meditation will be easy and you can gain the fruit of meditation. So don't worry about your sexual preferences. We all have sexual preferences and they are your hindrance. So if you can minimize them, that's better. Or you can temporarily suspend them when you want to develop meditation practice and force your mind to be under the control of your mindfulness, to stop thinking, to stop desiring. Then you will find that it's easy to practice and be successful in your practice. From Kenneth Hunt, Dear Ajahn, I have a lot of trouble recently with a senior colleague, where our interactions with him seem to trigger a lot of anger in me. I try to deal with this with mindfulness method, but could Ajahn please explain why some particular people trigger this response? Is it a linkage from past life? That's probably true. In your past life, you might have some issue with this person. So when you see this person in this lifetime, you will react negatively toward this person. So what you should do is you should try to be calm when you deal with this person. Basically, you should not expect any good thing from this person. Don't expect anything from this person and try to take whatever this person will throw at you. Then you'll find that it will be easier to deal with this person. Try not to have any aversion toward this person because it can cause you a lot of anxiety. Try just to be calm and have equanimity and just tell yourself that you are reaping the fruits of your karma. So just try to be calm and not reacting and not expecting anything from this person. Then you'll feel better this way. From Phoebe Sang, what is your advice regarding peaceful political demonstration? Is it good to participate if one believes it is for a good cause? To be honest, I think all this political activity is useless for the mind and creates more anxiety and stress for the mind. So it's better just to get out of politics completely and concentrate your mind on the practice of the Dhamma better. This is the way the world is. It has always been and will always be. There will always be conflict. There will always be fighting for their rights, for each individual rights or whatever rights they are fighting for. Look at the whole big picture. No matter what you do politically, in the end we all end up dead anyway. So what's the point of wasting your time on this political activities? It's better just to concentrate your effort on your Dhamma activity, practice Dhamma. You gain a lot more than doing this political activity. From Nijo, Namaskaran Ajahn. Need your advice how to ask my parents to know and learn Dhamma. You cannot ask them, but you can do it indirectly by giving them Dhamma books or Dhamma information, maybe through videos or audio recording or whatever. It's up to them whether they will take it up from there or not. If they don't, then there's nothing you can do about it. They're not yet ready for the Dhamma. From Kenneth Tan Ki Bok, Sadhu, Sadhu. Okay, I have a break here, so let me take a drink of water. I'm waiting for your questions. So if you have any more questions, you can still send them in. We have another 23 minutes or so to answer your questions. So just send them in. From Ui Pu Hua. Ui Pu Hua. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. From Sami Veachi. Someone told me that if we chant Itipiso 150 times, then the Buddha will appear in our mind and give us the right meditation technique. Could that be true? If you can chant 150 times, then you already have the right technique for meditation. Because chanting Itipiso is another way of meditation, of preparing your mind to meditate. Eventually, you want to go to Anapanasati for your meditation. But when you cannot yet get to your mindfulness of breathing, then you need something to get you there, like chanting Itipiso for a while to calm your mind, to get yourself concentrated enough to be able to meditate. The Buddha had already given us the right meditation technique, which is Anapanasati. He taught in the four foundations of mindfulness. The problem is our mind is not yet ready to do the Anapanasati meditation because our mind is still restless and keep running here and there and not able to concentrate on the breath. So you need to calm it down by do some chanting first. Then eventually your mind will be settled and ready to concentrate on your breath. From Tony Romero, thank you Ajahn. I'm glad you were able to tell me these things, even though I know this is what I should do. I find myself taking on other people's problems because I want to help them. I will practice more so I can maintain a stronger mindfulness when dealing with worldly issues. Thank you. You're welcome. From Phoebe Sang, so regarding staying out of politics, what if one feels our personal safety is being threatened by political events, for example? If we or other people are forced with imprisonment or other hardship, should we just do nothing and try to accept it as karma? If you can do that, that will be good for your mind because then your mind will be calm and peaceful and ready to accept any eventuality. Besides, no matter what you do politically, you still have to face your old enemies, which is aging, sickness, and death anyway. So better for you to learn how to cope with your old enemy cope with your aging, sickness, and death, rather than cope with any political upheaval. Because nothing will be more severe to you or to us than getting old, getting sick, and die anyway. So if we can practice the Dhamma, we will be able to train the mind to rise above uh, this unacceptable situation of aging, sickness, and death. We will not be consumed by them. We will rise above them and remain peaceful and calm. So better to concentrate on your Dhamma practice and deal with your old enemy and your enemy that you will have to deal with, which is aging, sickness, and death. Even if it seems that the society overall will suffer, yes, this is the world of suffering. Everybody who is born into this world will suffer sooner or later. From the richest man, from the biggest man to the lowest, the poorest person, they all have to suffer from the result of taking birth, which is aging, sickness, and death. And does it mean, therefore, that we are relying on others to try to do good and save the situation? No, we just leave things alone. Leave everybody alone. We don't rely on anybody. We want to teach our mind to be able to deal with every situation, politically or otherwise. This is more important. See, we are dealing, correcting the issue at the wrong place. The right place to correct the issues is in your mind. To stop your mind from craving, from desiring. Get rid of your delusion. Get rid of your cravings. Then your mind will rise above everything that the mind comes into contact with. The mind will not suffer anything. It doesn't matter who rules the world, who rules the country. It doesn't matter how good or how bad the world is. The mind will not be hurt by all these situations if the mind knows how to deal with its own internal problems, which is greed, hate, and delusion. So this is the place to solve every problem, politically or otherwise, is to get rid of your delusion, your greed, and your hatred. Not try to go marching around the country and try to force people to do things the way you want them to be. That's where you end up killing each other. From Simei, Satu Satu. From Chua, how equanimous state of mind works together or hand in hand with the four Brahma-vihara, goodwill, compassion. Equanimity is one of the four Brahma-viharas. Once you have an equanimous state, you have equanimity, you have the four Brahma-vihara automatically. From Tony Romero, I will ask one more question, Ajahn. Are kasina worth meditating on? If you find it useful for you, yes, you can use kasina. They're just another type of meditation technique. Like mindfulness of breathing, you can, instead of being mindful of breathing, you can be mindful of a color, such as green, red, yellow, or white, by trying to create this color in your mind when you close your eyes. If you use green, try to create the green color in your mind and keep focusing on that green color. It's just like using the breath. Instead of using the breath, you use the color instead. But this is harder because your mind have to be stronger. You have to be strong enough to create the colors to concentrate upon. The breath is easier because the breath is there already. You just watch. From Grape Aldrich. Hello, John. A house next door to us has been demolished. There's been a change in atmosphere in my housing complex, and some conflict with neighbors. Is it possible there are some unhappy spiritual beings causing? No, no. It's just the normal thing in life, which we call anicca, impermanent. Things rise and cease. The house is built, then one day it's being demolished for whatever reason. That has nothing to do with the spirit. The spirit, they don't bother with our physical world. They live in their own spiritual world. From Gig Bradwurst, dear Ajahn, I am glad seeing you online. I have a question regarding the strength or power developing during the meditation practice. After I was able to reach the equanimity a couple of times in a row, I feel such a strength in me. How to use this in Vipassana? May Ajahn stay safe and healthy. Vilasini, if you have this equanimity, then you can use in conjunction with wisdom to see that everything that you crave for or desire for is bad for you. When you see that it's bad for you, and if you have equanimity, then you can stop your desire or your craving for them. If you don't have equanimity, even though when you know that it's bad for you, but you cannot stop your mind from going after them. So you need to have equanimity, and then you need to see that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. When you see things as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you can stop your cravings or your desire for them. When you have no craving, no desire, then there will be no dukkha, no suffering in your mind. From Stanley Chu, hi to you. From Swante, Satu, Satu, Satu. Reply to Gig from polling soon, happy to hear. From Kwang Gate Mani, Satu, Satu. From Phoebe Sang, thank you very much for your answers. It's very helpful and help push back my delusion. Satu, Satu, Satu. From Kwang Gate Mani, Namaskaran Hluang Po. From Sami Riashi, Tanajan, thank you for your answer. I just wanted to tell you that I found a monastery in Got Phangan and I will go there soon. Happy to hear that. I have an American follower who live here with us, and now he's in one of the islands in the south called Got Lanta. Got Lanta. I'm not sure whether they are close to Got Phangan or not. Looks like there's monastery out on this island, which is very remote and very quiet. Looking forward to visit you in person. Please keep me in your prayers so my reordination will go smoothly. You have to be mindful, then your action will go successfully. Keep training yourself in mindfulness so that you can control your urge and your defilements. Without mindfulness, you will be overrun by your defilements sooner or later. From Ali Hassan, Ajahn, I realize it's really hard to get away from my habit, but I am keeping on trying, and I proceed the way you teach for my meditation. Just focus the breath, and I can do it better in these 2 days rather than the first 3 days before. Thanks. Ajahn, Satu. You're welcome. Happy to hear that. From Joseph Chi, Satu, Satu, Satu. From Phoebe Sang, I live in a different country from my mother, and I worry about her aging. Is it advisable to try to live close to one's parents in order to support them? Nowadays, you don't have to be close to them physically. You should be close to them financially, though. You can always send them money, and they can use money to support themselves. But if you can be close to them, that's also good. But in these days of the internet, you're almost close to each other. You can call her up every day on video call and you can talk to her as if you're living with her. Maybe you are much closer when you are far away, because when you're close, you tend to neglect her because you will spend a lot of time on what you want to do and you might forget her. But when you're far away from her, you think more about her. So you're much closer to her now than when you will live closer to her physically. So you can call her every day on the video conference call and talk to her for 5 minutes. That's all you need. She'll be happy hearing from you for 5 minutes. And if she needs any help financially, just send her the help. That's all. And so far as aging, sickness, and death, she has to deal with herself. Nobody can help her in that regard. She has to learn to accept aging, sickness, and death, and then she can live peacefully and happily. From Irene Uy, good afternoon, Ajahn, and everyone in the Dhamma. May all stay well and safe. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. From Sattha Lim, good afternoon, Ajahn. Thank you for sharing the Dhamma. Rachel Lim from Singapore. You're welcome, Rachel. Haven't seen you for a while. This Tuesday night we still have the Zoom meeting. So anybody who likes to join our Zoom meeting, you're welcome on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Thailand time, which is +7 GMT. From Pauline soon. How to meditate longer? Is it longer sitting is considered improvement from Malaysia? Yes, if you can sit longer, it means you have stronger mindfulness to be able to force your mind to sit still. In order to meditate longer, you have to train yourself more in mindfulness when you're not meditating. You should try to do it from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Force your mind to stick to one object, such as the mantra, or watching your body movement or body activity. Then you will have stronger mindfulness. When you sit, you can sit longer. And when you feel you want to get up, if you want to continue on sitting, just keep reciting the mantra or keep chanting. Then your mind will have more mindfulness and will enable you to sit longer. Okay, we have about 7 more minutes left before we will terminate this meeting. So if you are typing your question, please continue on typing because we have time to answer them. Right now, there are no questions for me to answer. So let me use this time to do a commercial. If you want to do any charity, you can do your charity at the school founded by the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand. It's a free school for boys from the age from grade 7 to grade 9. It's a boarding school. Everything is free of charge. The school takes boys from poor family or less privileged family to have a disciplined education. Boys will learn to be disciplined by using the teaching of the Buddha as the tool for disciplining their behavior, so they can become a good citizen for the society when they leave the school. Then you can find the information by going into the webpage called Friends of Puru YSS 980 YSS 80 Puru, Friends of Puru, Puru spell PHURSU YSS 80, and you'll find information and activities of the school. And if you like to support them, you can contact the school or people who are ready to help in your contact. From Kwan Patumapa, Sadhu Sadhu. Okay. Another question from Satalim. Dear Ajahn, due to the pandemic, we are constantly adapting to working from home, working from office. A lot are suffering from mental stress of the prolonged restriction. Are we suffering because of mass karma? Yes, our karma is our defilements, our cravings for sensual objects. So when we cannot get what we crave for, then we suffer. But if we know how to meditate and not have any craving for any sensual objects, you'll find that staying at home is a blessing because you can first be safe from contacting any disease. Second, you can meditate at home and you can be happy at home. So yes, people who suffer because of this restriction is because they cannot do what their sensual desire, their sensual cravings ask them to do. They have this sensual pleasure cravings. They have to have contact with the sensual objects such as the sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. But if you learn how to meditate, then you can tame your sensual pleasure desire or cravings, and you will not have any stress when you are restricted to stay at home. So this is the benefit of meditation practice. It will prevent any stress from coming from your sensual pleasure cravings. From reaching Chua, how to relax after a day full of mindfulness, meditation, and self-restraint. Well, if you do it correctly, you are relaxing already. If you have mindfulness, you'll find that your mind is relaxed and feel at ease. But if you're still struggling, it means you haven't yet achieved any amount of mindfulness, and your defilements still keep fighting against your mindfulness. So you just have to keep continue on with your mindfulness training. Don't give up. Sooner or later, when the mindfulness is strong enough, it will make the mind calm, relaxed, and peaceful and happy. From Phoebe San, I want to ask if there is a similar school or organization for girls from poor families, or will there be in future? Right now, I don't have this information to give you. From Lung Mu Temple, Ajahn, can you please elaborate on nimitta? Nimitta are things that happen in your mind, that appears in your mind. They can be visual, they can be audio, or can be anything. They are called nimitta. Your dream is called nimitta also. So anything that appears in your mind is called nimitta. From Nabiti, Namaskar Ajahn, Medan, Indonesia. From Winshore. By the way, we almost reached the 1 hour mark already. So if you're not typing any question, you have to stop and wait until for our next session. If you are typing, please finish typing and send them in. From Winshore, is recollection of virtue still necessary when our main focus is now on mindfulness and awareness? No. You don't need to recollect on your virtue. What you need to do is maintain your virtue, like keeping the 5 precepts, and be mindful of your object of mindfulness. From Eli Hassan, Ajahn, I got a headache a few days ago, but I keep on my routine to meditate as usual every evening. The day I focused only to breathe. When I finish sitting 30 minutes, my headache killed by itself. I focus the breath as you are teaching. No more repeat the parita as usual I did before. Well, whatever method that will make your mind calm and peaceful, then you should use that method. From Pauline soon, if you want to improve on meditating, do I have to avoid contact with all entertainment? Yes, you want to stop your sensual activity, sensual pleasure activities, because they are distraction to your meditation practice. From Pauline soon, humans are dying because COVID in India is karma. No, it is birth. Once there is birth, there is death. So regardless whether there is pandemic or not, it is birth that is causing death. And birth is a kind of karma. It's a consequence of your karma, your action, your cravings, your desire. From Pasi Chung, Sadhu, Sadhu. Question from Tenuvara. How mindfulness help us to concentrate on a formal meditation? Like anapanasati, could you quantify how long you can keep your mind on the breath without outside thought coming in? Say 1 minute, 2 minutes, etc. It depends on how strong your concentration is. The stronger your concentration, the longer you will be able to focus your attention on your breath. You cannot stop other thoughts from coming in, but you can disregard them or ignore them if you have strong enough mindfulness or concentration. So try to keep training yourself in mindfulness all the time before you come to meditate. And when you meditate, you'll find that your mind will be easily focused on your meditation object, and can disregard any other thoughts that might have come in. From Pauline soon, thank you very much to Ajahn. We are craving to your Dhamma talk. Sadhu, sadhu. From Czech Lintan, dear Ajahn, today somebody also told me about mental suffering due to COVID restrictions. I don't really know what to say except for listening patiently because I felt happy and content staying home. How should I advise them if they are not Buddhists? Thank you, Ajahn. Teach them how to meditate. Teach them how to meditate. Tell them that they can be happy with meditation, and then they will find that being restricted at home will be no problem because they can be happy staying home and meditate like you. From Ui Puhua. Thank you, Ajahn, for your time teaching us on the right method of meditation. Sukhi Hotu. You're welcome. From Wee Sheng Chua. I have been victims of psychic power. They control my body from distance. What can I do? No, this is wrong. This is delusion on your part. Nothing can control your body, your mind, except your defilements or the Dhamma. Right now, you don't have the Dhamma, so you're being controlled by your defilement, by your greed, hatred, and delusion. So what you do, you should try to develop Dhamma practice by doing charity, by keeping the precepts, and doing meditation. All right, thank you very much for all of your questions. I enjoy answering all of your questions today. And I hope this discussion, this conversation will give you some benefit to help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please continue on with your practice by being mindful constantly all the time. Be safe and be happy. Goodbye for now.